Daniel Dubois is the heaviest puncher statistically that AJ would have boxed.
This is Jonathan Aguilar here for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Queensbury's Dev Sahni. We're here at the final press conference ahead of the rematch on Saturday night in Birmingham, live on TNT Sports. Nathan Heaney, Brad Pauls run it back. Dev, excited?
Very excited. Even more excited after that press conference where Nathan Heaney had little digs at Brad Pauls, tried to draw him out a little bit, but Brad Pauls has no interest in getting into any kind of verbals. He's a very nice man. They both are, to be fair. So it did surprise me at the presser, and the fight's going to be brilliant. I just know it. You watch the first fight of the year contender, like you only needed the very edge of your seat, and I think we're actually making amendments to the chairs on Saturday night. It will just be seat edges across the front row. So yeah, no, looking forward to it, mate. Good fight.
Did you obviously Nathan was saying stuff to Brad Pauls, and like you say, Brad wasn't really responding. Do you think he was trying to get under Brad's skin, or do you feel like he was just getting things off his chest, basically? Because he was kind of saying, like, I basically won the first fight easy, I didn't really feel the power, things like that, and obviously Brad didn't really respond.
Do you know what? There was a feeling from Nathan Heaney where it's like, it felt like I know I'm a nice guy, I am a nice guy, but don't mistake my kindness for weakness. It felt like that kind of energy there. He's been getting DMs from Brad Pauls fans calling him chicken and stuff like that. He picked up on a particular point that Brad Pauls said in an interview, like a one-word association thing. Everyone's doing those these days. Brad Pauls was asked one word that he'd associate with Nathan Heaney, and he said popular. Now, if someone said that about me, they'd be wrong, but it would be nice, right? But for Nathan Heaney to hear that from another fighter, he took that as a little bit of disrespect. He's got things on his chest. He's got a point to prove. He feels like it shouldn't even be. It certainly shouldn't have been a draw in his eyes. He feels like it wasn't a particularly close fight. So he wants to go and prove to the world what Nathan Heaney's all about on Saturday. He wants to keep his Stoke Football Stadium Bet365 dream alive. And that was close, by the way. That was close to happening. That dream becoming a reality. And a draw against Brad Pauls ruined his dream. So now a win against Brad Pauls could keep the dream alive.
Do you think it's a good point you make? Because like when people say you're just a ticket seller, you're just popular, I guess from Heaney's perspective it's like he doesn't work this hard in the gym to be told I'm just a ticket seller, right?
No, exactly, and that's what happens with popular ticket seller fighters. You've seen it with Josh Warrington, had the same thing over the years where people say yeah, he's a good ticket seller, and then he became a world champion, and then he became the best featherweight in the world. And with Nathan Heaney, he's at that point as well where he wants to. It's great having the popularity, but you don't want that to be the first. He doesn't want that to be the only thing people think about when they think of Nathan Heaney. What they should be thinking, probably in his eyes, is he's an unbeaten British champion, and he could be a world champion. He wants to be acknowledged for his accolades, his accomplishments, his skills, rather than just his popularity. But that is the blessing and a curse of being a popular fighter and a big ticket seller.
Well, Dev, everyone was excited to see Liam Davis against Shabazz Massoud. Unfortunately, that's off, but is it a sign of the times that a matchroom fighter still stays on the bill, even though he's not fighting a Queensbury fighter? I guess that would have been unthinkable a year ago. It's
nice, it's good. Everyone's getting on. I think there's no secret there that everyone seems to be getting on, so that's nice. It was no fault of Shabazz Massoud that Liam Davis had to pull out, so it'd be a bit out of order if he just kind of lost his date, and I think it's good. So he'll be on the Queensbury stream beforehand, and Liam Davis will be doing commentary. It should be interesting. Look, I don't know what will happen with it. I seem to remember, was it Jake Paul commentating on Tommy Fury?
Yep.
That happened in a fight, I think in Dubai, where John Fury was going at him afterwards. So
is that what we're expecting, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're expecting quite similar scenes, but that's the kind of vibe I will be pushing Liam Davis towards.
Dev, just tell me your fight you're most looking forward to on the undercard.
It is Ashley Lane against Andrew Kane. I can't wait. Did you see the face-off?
He grabbed his throat.
Yeah, did he actually grab his throat?
It looked that way.
He went to. I don't know, but it was.
I hope he did. I don't want him seeing this and.
Definitely not. He'll definitely beat you up. But that was good. That was good. I think Ash Lane said, "I'm ready to go now," and Andrew Kane said, "Well, if you're ready to go now, let's go now." You can't say to fighters, as we've learnt in recent weeks, "Oh, we can do it now if you like." You can't say that anymore, apparently. So that was good. I'm looking forward to it. They were both quite feisty up there. I like Ash Lane. Reading the secrets. I love his story from rock bottom to top tables to main fights on TNT Sports, and incredible. Andrew Kane believes his story starts on Saturday, and he is ferocious. He is absolutely ferocious, and he's very watchable. And one blemish has been against Baluta, the fight in which he injured his hand after having Baluta over a couple of times in the first round. Who knocks Baluta over? He's a real menace. He's like a Merseyside menace, Andrew Kane. So it's a very good fight.
Yeah, he was brilliant against Chris Bourke last time out. Just wanted to obviously talk about the heavyweight on the card, Sol Dakers. He's been in with all the top guys in sparring and stuff. And do you think people are forgetting, how highly rated he has been by all these fighters, and the amateur record he had? Because it feels like he's getting slept on a bit.
Well, I think his Queensbury debut, I think he'll admit it wasn't his best performance. He was in against Michael Webster, and Michael Webster did enough certainly to get a rematch, and you probably weren't expecting that heading into it. So he'll need to kind of right that wrong, if you like, put this kind of Michael Webster question to bed, because Michael Webster left that fight feeling like he won, and Sol Dakers will be looking to on Saturday make sure that that's not even a thing, and that he is leagues above the likes of Michael Webster. It's a shame that it's not against David Adelaide, because that's a fantastic fight. Hopefully that one, they can reschedule and make it happen. But I think Sol's right there knocking on the door. I'm sure he'll put on a great performance on Saturday.
Just wanted to move away to next week. Big fight, Joyce against Derek Chisora. Excited?
I am, yeah. We did a face-off thing. So the Queensbury one's called Locked In, right? So it's like, it shows the door locking and all sorts. Hopefully it's out tonight, but it's like the equivalent of the gloves are off and all of that thing. So I was in there in the middle of Joyce and Chisora, and I wasn't sure what to expect, but I got a lot better than what I expected. Some really good things said. So I think there's been one clip that's gone out at the moment where Joyce is like, "Don't wag your finger at me," and Chisora's like, "You're not about that life." I'm very, very excited about this fight, and it feels like it's about what what version of Joe Joyce we have right now. In 2024, after defeats to Zhilei Zhang, after a comeback win against Cash Ali, what version of Joe Joyce is there? If he is still that same guy that knocked out Joe Parker, what an amazing win. He was top 3 in the world probably at that point. If he's still that guy, if he can channel that energy, then he should have too much for Derek Chisora, you would think. But then I'm hearing things like Alexander Usyk say, "Nobody's hit me harder than Derek Chisora." Alexander Usyk isn't the sort of guy that just makes stuff up for headlines, is he? So Derek Chisora clearly hit him very hard in that fight. And when you watch that fight back, I'm not sure there's like an obvious punch where it's like, "Oh, he's landed this massive one and Usyk's in trouble." So he's hurt him in there, apparently, or at least, done more damage than people have in the past. What are you? Oh, you're giving it a little adjustment. But yeah, just looking forward to that fight, and don't really know how it's going to go. I think that's part of the intrigue of it.
So I want to ask you about some comments from 258 yesterday, questioning whether Dubois had been VADA tested. I know Queensbury responded saying, "Listen, he's enrolled, and VADA will confirm that." Is this mind games, or what was your reaction when you saw that?
I think it's just a nothing story. I think if you break it down, you've got a tweet from one party, and then you've got a reply from another party, and it's put to bed. So I don't know about mind games or anything like that. I think it's a real nothing story. Fury.
And just one other thing to ask you, Simon Jordan suggested that if Dubois lands on AJ, he's going to have flashbacks to the Ruiz fight and PTSD from that. How do you think Joshua's changed since then, and has he faced someone with the power of Dubois since, and someone with that style, do you think?
So Daniel Dubois is the heaviest puncher statistically that AJ would have boxed for a long time. Like his knockout percentage is very high. It's the top in the Ring magazine at the moment. It's probably the heaviest puncher he's faced since Vladimir Klitschko. So he's got heavy hands. I don't know about this PTSD stuff. I'm pretty sure I've seen Joshua get hit in fights since then and be okay. So I don't necessarily agree with that, and the idea that he's suddenly going to get flashbacks and be like, oh no, because right now he looks on top form, Anthony Joshua, since the hookup with Ben Davison. Look at the Otto Wallin fight, and I think it needs to be addressed, like, because some people are looking back on the Wallin and Ngannou fights as like, oh yeah, he beat Wallin and Ngannou, like, so what? But let's not forget what we were saying about Wallin before that fight. Wallin was this tricky, big southpaw coming off a great win against Gassiev, who gave Tyson Fury trouble and all of that. But since Joshua beat him, it's sort of being minimised. And Ngannou, of course, look, we saw Ngannou how he's performed as a boxer, and Joshua completely decimated him. So I don't think we should rewrite history to downplay those wins and the current form of Joshua. I think he's in a good place right now, and I don't expect him to have PTSD if he gets hit by Daniel Dubois. But what I do expect is that if Daniel Dubois does catch him, Joshua will certainly know about him, and he's been hit by a heavy puncher in Daniel Dubois. That's what I expect.
Dev, appreciate your time here in Birmingham, Magnificent 7, live on TNT this Saturday night, and enjoy the show and enjoy the rest of the interviews.
Okay, I will. Enjoy yourself as well, Jonathan. Good to see you.
Appreciate it.
All right.